One, two, test, testing, testing. It's my hologram. I am on the other side of the dimension. Okay, so I want to talk about what's going on right now because um, it's very hard for ordinary humans who are still plugged into the electromagnetic field. And what I mean by that is sound and picture. People depend on their television and all that stuff, and they live and work for that particular piece of equipment, television and all that. Anyway, but what we're facing now is a battle, and it has to do with power. But we need to realize what is power, okay? And power is God given, which is a mind. An octopus has power, and it has the same mind with two eyes, just like you and I have two eyes, completely different thought process. So we need to understand that the mind is God given power. Anything with a mind is a power. And what is happening is that there are forces on the other side of the dimension who want to download their own power, but it's not God given, it's selfish power, which is called the light bearer. They create light, they think that light comes from them. That's why they have, Hollywood and all these things that influence the mind a lot, and radio and sound waves, because they have the power to create light, but it's not where light comes from. In other words, the power of light comes from God Himself, which is freedom. We'll talk into that later, but that is what light is about. Light is boundless. Light doesn't have a limit. Um, and that is freedom. That is what we are like. We are even beyond light, in fact. But that is the freedom that is God given, which is the power of the mind. Okay? So now there's another power, which is the will. And the will is also God given. But the will can only be manifested in quantum physics. It's called collapsing a wave function. But the will can only manifest it when you bring it actually into life. In other words, all the thoughts and everything in my mind exist in a superposition state outside of the universe, which is the dark matter, non-tangible matter, which is all the thoughts and everything else, which is where God is actually. If you go before the thought is the silence. The silence is where God is, which is eternity. Forever is now. Okay? So let me go back to where I was. The will is a God given power. So you need to understand that. The will is a God given power. The will for what? And now here's the key: the will to know the truth. And that's the power that they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know the truth. And that's why the truth is being suppressed. Because the truth, like light, is boundless. It has no limit. The truth is limitless. In fact, the truth is what light travels through. You probably heard it before. I am the truth and I am the light. Without me, you can get through the Father. That's it. Purity, incorruptibility has to do with that. Okay? So you need to understand that. So when I say they, I call them the light bearers. The light bearers. Not the life, but the light bearers of the forces of the other side that want to download their demonic nature into the universe, into the world. We can see it already. They want to manifest. Ultimately, what they would like to do is have some, um, it's called 3D printer, 3D printing human beings or beings or whatever. And then they just insert their souls into it and it's downloaded and that's it. You live forever basically. You just re 3D re 3D print your body, but you're the same thing. So anyways, it's all a bunch of nonsense. That's never gonna happen. So that's what this is all about. Okay? It's about light, which is freedom, boundless freedom, which is a thought. Okay? That's why Christ is a thought, which is also God given because it comes from the mind. And the will to know the truth is God's will. It's not your will or my will, it's God's will. It's God's will that we know the truth. Okay? And that power is God given, and that's what they don't want you to have. They don't want you to know who you really are. They don't want you to know the power that you have, which is the power to be godlike, which is called incorruptibility. It's called it's called the children of light. That's what it is. One thing is children of man, another thing is children of God. Um, the time has come that we all come together, and I tell you what it takes to override the electromagnetic field and to defeat the dark forces. What it takes is love. Love because God is love. Love one another. That's what it takes. If we all love what we have and we all love ourselves and our planet and our city and our country and our friends, our neighbors, imagine the power of that. And that's what happened when the electromagnetic field was taken over, is because they destroy love. Love is not even in the picture because God is love. So it's not about love. It's about something else. It's about achieving, accumulating things and material possessions. And that's really the opposite of what we're talking about here. So you know now what's going on. All right. Just in a little brief, kind of like video. Cheers. God bless. Oh, by the way, we are living in the end times and there is no more secrets.